What's going on, people?
Hey, hey.
How y'all doing?
We are back in the building.
Are we live?
We are live.
Are you sure?
Yeah, man, I'm sure. Hey, y'all, this your girl, Lady Free.
I'm your boy, Pastor J.
And we are live and in full effect here on Shift Real Talk.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're here. In full effect. And effect being full.
Shift Real Talk Tuesdays. Listen, if this is your first time coming to join us, we are a podcast where we talk about love, life, and relationships. We all about building the family. So we talk about a lot of love topics, a lot of life topics, and a lot of relationship topics.
Yes, we are.
So today we have a really good topic for you. Marvin is our first guest. Hey, Marvin.
What's going on, Marvo?
He said, yo.
Miss you, bro.
So listen, the topic today.
Listen, but before we get into the topic,
get
into the topic, man, I just want to give a little tribute to one of my best friends, Jules Bartholomew. He's an excellent songwriter. Yeah. He wrote Hezekiah Walker, all of his greatest hits. My boy, and he's in the hospital now, recovering from a major surgery.
Right.
Major surgery, man, and we thank God. And I just we don't own the rights to this music we're about to play, but I just wanted to play this little worship.
It is his music, though, right?
It is his music.
It's his music.
It's his music. We don't own the rights, but it's my boy's music. And I just wanted to go on a little worship to, before we start this podcast conversation today. So y'all just tune in with me.
No matter how much I bless you, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter how much I bless you, it's not enough. It's not enough. Doesn't matter how much I bless you,
still not enough.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
I failed you a bunch of times.
If I could praise you for all your mercies, I'd still owe you much for your grace. So Lord, I'll praise you forever. It's not enough. It's not enough.
Doesn't matter how much I bless you.
It's not enough.
It's not enough.
It's not.
It's not enough. Doesn't matter how much I bless you. It's not enough. It's not enough.
If
I could praise you for all your mercy,
I still
I still owe you
much
for your grace. So Lord, I'll praise you forever.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
If I can praise you,
If I could praise you
for all
your mercy,
I
I still owe you
sing this song to you.
much for your grace.
honor of who you are.
Lord, I
I'll
will
praise you forever.
So
Lord,
Lord,
I
I
will praise you forever.
I will.
So Lord, I'll praise you forever.
as long as I live, I'll magnify.
I remember my father used to lay his
As long as I
hands on
live, I'll
me
glorify.
every day.
So
That's why I knew
Lord, I'll praise you
this is something.
So I will bless you at all times.
Powerful, powerful, powerful. Lord, we praise you
Forever.
forever.
And that's
it's
still not enough.
not enough.
Wow.
Because we're preparing for a place where there will be no more.
Wow. It's not enough.
It's not enough. I just wanted to give a shout out to my boy Jules, man. You know, be praying for you, bro.
Yeah.
Love you, man. You know, get better soon, man, and I can't wait to see you. But anyway, let's jump into this topic, man. I was worshiping on that song going home, man, and it just it took me in, man, and I
Yeah.
just kind of wanted to share
He
it with
came
you
in
guys.
the house singing it.
Yeah. My wife thought I wasn't serious, man. She's like, "What's wrong?"
No,
She
I did
just
not.
laughed at me again.
I was smiling because when you were singing it, your whole face was like crunched up and you were serious. So I thought it was cute.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Got you.
But anyway, so listen, the topic for today, y'all listen, it's we not together, but we still have to raise these kids.
Yes.
So that's what we're talking about. We are not together, but we still have to raise these kids. And I think that's very important because today we have so many homes where the mother and the father are no longer in the same household.
Yes, and we have a major issue that goes on in our culture and in our society where the kids are being used as a pawn. You know, and the situation is where, you know, either the father is not allowed to see the kids or the mother is not allowed to see the kids, and they're being in the caretaker of one of the parents, and for whatever reason, the parent won't allow the child to see the other parent, and that's
other child.
Yeah, the other child. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, you were right. The other parent.
The
My
other
bad.
the parent won't allow the
child
to see the other parent,
right.
man. And then it's and that is so that is almost common nowadays. And what's going on is like child support is really prevalent in our Black culture. You know what I'm saying?
Not just the Black culture, just period. It's becoming the norm. But what we're trying to do is just shift. We have to make a move on this whole like situation where we've allowed the government to come in and make decisions in what God has called our family. It's your household. So before you allow any outside forces to come and make decisions, learn how to learn. That's the key word. Learn how to make decisions together and think about the kids more than you think about how much you dislike the other person. Or how about this? How much you still like the other parent and can't have the other parent. So you're making decisions out of that. So that's what we're talking about today.
I that's so true, Lady Free. Thank you for bringing that up. That is true. We don't think about the kids when we do that, and this is one thing that we must do, especially when we understand that we're not together. We still have to maintain the level of consistency for the kid.
Yeah.
Because what that does is, see, first of all, children have needs. They have needs.
Yeah.
And they have a need to be cared for, because what that need to be cared for does is it helps with their emotional and it helps with their development.
It does.
It helps with their development. So when we are not together, that doesn't mean that we don't have to come together for the kid.
Because what happens is the children, when they see the two parents working together, they realize that the issue that caused the parents to separate in the first place is not bigger than the love you have for me.
That's right.
As the child.
That's right.
So it gives that child a level of significance. It gives that child a level of security that they would not have if both parents were deciding to be at odds with each other.
Yeah. What's up, Al West, Kimberly Scott?
Al, hey, Kim.
Hey, sis, how you doing? Happy Mother's Day to you. We love
Yes,
you.
happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy belated.
Related. Yeah, so it's important that we put down how we feel and make it about the kids. Because here's the thing, when you truly, we make it about finances, you know what I'm saying? Because I hear that a lot. Well, he ain't doing nothing he ain't doing nothing. He ain't helping me. She ain't helping me. You know, I hear that a lot. But money is not the thing. And I say this all the time. Money is not the only thing that
Money is a symptom.
money is not the thing that raises kids.
Right.
Presence does. People do. I mean, not just people, but the parents.
But money, the parent, yes, the children need finances in order to live, in order to have what they need, in order for the parent that has the main responsibility not to be stressed out. However, money is a symptom because you knew that person didn't have or what they did have before you ended up getting pregnant from that person. And it wasn't an issue then. So now that the child is born, it's a symptom of a bigger issue. What's really the bigger issue that make you make that money the main priority and not the child?
Here's the thing. Let's look how God trained the situation.
All right.
When God put Adam in the garden, everything he needed was in the garden.
Right.
All he told Adam to do was to tend to it. That was, what was that? The beginning of the family.
I have a question for you before we continue. You sure you don't want to put that gum in here? Because
bother me. My mouth.
I'm so nervous you're gonna bite your tongue. And I kept the paper under my leg. I said he gonna need this paper.
So the point that I'm saying
There you
is
go.
the fact that because Adam, I believe he was trained on how God was really shaping the idea of how family was gonna be provided for.
What you mean?
You got everything you need. All you got to do is tend to it. So whatever you need when it comes to the children, when it comes to the family, God has provided everything already. All you got to do is be in order and tend to it.
Okay, so talk about order. How about this? When you said that, the first thing I thought about was one of the main responsibilities of the father was to cultivate, which means to grow, which means to teach, to help the child to understand, to train the child. That's really what the father's main responsibility is. So what has happened is someone done slipped us a Mickey in the game, and they have said to us, okay, the man not being there training and teaching and cultivating and growing the child mentality and everything about that the child needs, everything about that child, we take that and we flip that and say, nope, that's secondary to
Yes.
you giving me this money so I can make sure he have shoes on his feet and clothes and food. And I was like, yes, the child needs that. But the main thing that child is going to remember that's going to help them mentally, physically, spiritually, be a well-rounded human being in this world is the teachings and the trainings and the time they need to spend with their father. So co-parenting is very, very important.
Thanks, Al. Let me read what Al said. Al said, I think y'all should start a huge therapy psychologist firm. Let a huge insurance company sponsor y'all. The good needs it. Oh, thank you, Al.
Listen,
Appreciate
Al
you, bro.
West, you might be onto something.
Yeah.
He says order starts with the basics from the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's where we started from. We got to
Yes.
start from the beginning.
And that's where it starts. It does start from the, and like I said, God really
gotta
gave us the
start with the
blueprint.
first man.
And what we
Yeah.
do and what makes it hard is that we go outside of the blueprint, and then what we do is we start trying to instill what we think
what
it should
we
be.
think it should be.
Well, you need to do this, and the baby need this, and the baby need that. So what we're doing is now here's one thing that we have to here's a topic or thing that we should do as parents that are not together. Respect each other.
We have to respect each other.
Respect each other.
Yeah.
Respect each other for each other's role. The father has his role, and the mother has their role. Still. And you can't diminish the role of whoever other parent is. You can't diminish that role because that role is just as important as the role that you have as a parent.
And you know, when you get to the point where you learn that the order that God has set for the family
Yes.
still needs to be governed in the family, regardless of whether y'all together or not, you'll realize that God will still bless in the midst of it, which means you don't have to worry about where the money gonna come from, because if you continue to put that child first, then that child will be able to reap the benefits of both parents, because God will allow that order to work for you
Yes.
instead of you trying to make something happen. So you have to learn to respect. That's the first thing.
You got to learn to respect. That's right, Al. ABC is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Right, you have to-
ABC 1, 2, 3. There
No,
you. That's right.
not at all.
But the thing is, the respect is so important because, first of all, the child should not know about your issues with the other parent's shortcomings.
They shouldn't be in the middle.
They should not be in the middle, because you got to think about this. the child loves both parents the same.
Exactly.
So if you are talking bad to the child about the other parent, then what you doing is you're shaping a thought, or you're putting a thought in this child's head that now he starts forming.
And
Your dad he ain't this, or your mama ain't this, or your daddy ain't this,
But
such and such ain't this.
What you have to remember is it goes against their natural love for that parent. So now this child knows how they feel about that parent, but when that other parent comes and start dumping all this negativity on their child, then they have to, it's like they automatically have to deny their true love for that parent and then adopt what the other parent is saying because it's being instilled in them. It's being looped around in them to the point where we don't even understand as parents. That causes that child their first mental disturbance.
The first mental disturbance.
And it comes from that parent who claims, I love my child. So I'm going to protect my child from, but what you're really doing is you're causing your child to be mentally uneasy.
And then too, you got to understand this. We have to understand this as parents. Our kids are kids.
They are kids.
They are not mentally ready to deal with the issues of the parents.
Absolutely
or even one thing my mother and my father used to do, they had issues. Now, sometimes I seen the issues. A lot of times I seen the issues, but sometimes I didn't. You know what I'm saying? It was like, y'all go in the room or they'll take us somewhere else.
I remember those days.
Yeah, you go there and so that the parents can deal with whatever issues. You know what I'm saying? What happened to the days of old?
Where the parents say, "Can I talk to you for a minute?"
Yeah, can I talk to you for a minute? And then
And
we
you
go.
leave.
Yeah, and you leave out the. But nowadays you do it right there in front of the kids, and it's like the kids pick up this behavior. And it's so important that this level of respect is maintained because of the atmosphere and the development of the kid gets corrupted from the lack of respect.
Train up a child in the way they should go so that when they get old, they will not depart from it. So the training that you're giving your child, that's the training they will not depart from. If you're training your child to be mentally disturbed, from to disturb their mentality about something that's supposed to be natural to them, then what you're doing is you're causing them when they get older to have that same mentality rolling around in their head.
That's right.
Because must be something wrong with men, or there must be something wrong with women, or if I get in a relationship, it's not going to work out because this, that, and the third, or whatever it is that you feed. And so we have to really be careful. Life and death is definitely powerful coming from your mouth, from your words.
That's
all right?
right.
Let me read something real quick. The benefits for your children when you do decide to. Well, actually, you know what? Let me read this after you go over, because you said the first thing that you must do is respect each other.
Yeah, Alwa said one thing I've learned in trading stocks and money is that the universe starts from one and branches out to eternity. So every step we take is watched. And once we have a seed, that's eternal. That's eternal. Sometimes that's the thought. That's the thought we as parents don't realize when arguments happen. Absolutely, Al. That's what we don't realize. We don't realize the seeds that we're planting when we are planting because if here's the seed that we're planting. If it's okay for me to see you disrespect the very person that I have the utmost respect for,
right?
Then what I learned is now a disrespectful behavior
authority.
For when I come to people that I should respect,
right?
Because I've seen the disrespect,
and
what I do is I pattern this behavior.
So now you wonder why I'm not respecting teachers and respecting the law.
You wonder why I'm punching teachers or I'm slapping them,
cussing them out,
and
because I've seen you teach me that respecting the authority, the first authority God gave me, which was my father or my mother, is done.
It's done. The next thing we got to realize is that's important is communication.
Got to communicate.
That is the key. Meaning the lines of communication have to stay open. They have to stay open to the point where there is it knocks out all negativity.
You have
Yeah, it
when
knocks
you
out all-
communicate,
yeah.
you got to go far above your emotions.
Yes. Yeah. It knocks out all
Yeah.
negativity. And what the communication does is it forms a united front between the parents.
Unity.
And that's what the Bible says. And where there is unity, there is strength.
And come on.
So we
Oh,
have
wow.
to come together in the communication so that the
We
unity
can form a united
Yes.
front.
so that there is not I'm going to play this side or I'm going to play this side
Yeah.
because and it's easy to play sides when you're not together.
Yes.
When you're not communicating,
Absolutely.
when you're communicating at each other, not to each other.
Right,
So
right.
it is so important that we communicate.
And you said with unity comes strength. How
Yes.
strong do you want your children to be?
How strong do you want the unity to be?
Well, no. What I'm saying is this is a revelation I caught.
Got you.
When you are unified, what you're doing now is you're building a strength in your children
Yes.
to help them understand that in coming together, learning how to communicate, okay, wow, I know that they didn't get along growing up and I saw my parents still work things out. I saw them put me first. So even though it didn't work out with you two, it's going to work out with that child because that child is going to see that it's not the end all be all. Because the first thing most children already feel is maybe if I had been a better child, they wouldn't have broke up, or what did I do wrong, or what could I have done?
Yeah.
So when
absolutely.
you do that, you're building strength in them. You're building that confidence, that strong communication skill in them that they're going to need in life.
And trust me, I know the communication could be hard mentally with somebody you are not with.
Yep.
But you got to remember this. Communication is about the child, for the child,
Come on.
and because of the child.
Because there is a child involved.
Because there is a child involved, you have to make sure that you maintain the consistency
Right.
in the communication.
Now, yes, that is tough. It's hard because you have to, at this point, learn a few things.
Yes.
How about learn how to put a parental plan together?
That's the communication.
That means that you're going to have to, at some point, sit down with this person. I know most of the times if you sit down with that person and say, listen, this child is the most important thing that we've done together. We may not have whatever it is that the conversation is going to be. We need to come up with a parental plan.
Yeah.
That means we need to sit down and say, okay, when the child gets sick, what doctor situation we got going on? If the child gets in trouble at school, who's going to go up there? How are we going to handle that? You have to sit down now and come up with a mature way to actually plan to parent your children.
Yes. Knowledge comes from listening and discernment. Key to any relationship brings trust and security. Yes.
Trust and security, because that's what's necessary. This child feels so insecure
That's right.
because now their world has been shaken. They don't understand why their daddy's not there or why their mom has to work all the time and can't be there. So they need security. So when you have that communication and you
Yes.
get those two keys,
Absolutely.
he says trust and security. That's
He
necessary.
said, sitting down and planning. Maturity can only make that exactly. That's the whole point. Making sure that you do the go above and beyond. And I'm saying this too because I'm a living example of going above and beyond communication, or not even that, but going above and beyond to do the necessary things to make sure that I am consistent in that to make sure that I was consistent in my kid's life, and I went above and beyond the negative content, the negative pushback, the negative, and then too, the things that I did, I sacrificed. A lot of times, what we don't do as parents is that we feel like we have to still continue on where we're going and what we think. But when now you have a kid that we've brought into the earth, or that we brought into to society, a lot of things that we had a plan for us is compromised, because what we have to do is we have to make sure that we sacrifice and be there for our kids, and that is so important.
Yeah.
I remember and I struggled through it too, because I was on the road and I had to come off the road. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want my absence, even though I felt like if this is the way that I'm gonna make money, I got a gig, I gotta go on the road, and I gotta do this. I gotta take major tours, and I gotta do this. Is gonna pay me a lot of money. But I thought about that, and I said, man, as a young man growing up, do I want that absence? Do I want me being absent and
To affect my son.
to affect my son saying, dang, does my dad support me, or does my dad want to be there for me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I had to sacrifice that and find something find the local gigs, you know what I'm saying? So I had to change my plan to make sure.
And that's what I was about to say. What we don't realize is, if we really truly think about it, people say, well, when you have a child, oh, now I got to stop doing it. You know what you really have to do is just figure out another plan.
Yeah.
A plan that now includes this situation with having the child,
Yes.
now having the father outside of the home, now having to respect, which was the first thing you said, the fact that he doesn't have the same household rules and regulations
Yeah.
and environment that I may have over here. So although it's different, and I don't have to agree. Possibly that's why we're not together now, because we did not agree. So, of course, we have to have the mentality going in that his household is going to look different from mine.
Yes.
So I have to respect the way he chooses to do when he's there. And when my child comes back home, I have to not interrogate my child to find out what's going on over there, but be willing to be there to be an ear if the child needs to talk, and allow that child to talk and not just listen so you can hear what's going on and be nosy.
Al said, my thing was with my child's mother was I let anger come in between when I was on the road, Pastor, so I can relate. Yes, my thing, I had the same problem. My issue was with my son's mother, and I had a big issue with her because I sacrificed a whole lot, and the thing is, like I said, I didn't want to impart into my son and not be able to be there to him, because the only way that you're going to be able to impart in it
And make
is you got to
him-
be there, because the present, because if you're not there and then you come in and try to impart, the respect is not going to be.
That's it.
The respect is not going to
yeah.
be there, because it's like, where you been? You know what I'm saying? Like,
But you have to be there
but you
in
got
order
to
to
be there.
impart.
Yeah, exactly. So
And that's the part I was saying before. You said it perfectly. The first man, Adam, his job was to impart. His job was to take the word of God and
Yeah.
tell it to and teach with the word of God. So when you decide no, you ain't finna be here because you ain't paying child support and you need and all that stuff. Now what you've done is you've taken the respect that child's supposed to have and the impartation that father is supposed to give to the child, and you've diminished it and made it of none effect, because now you've decided money is the main thing. It's important. So hear me well. It is important, but it is not as important, because God will bless and take care of his own, but it is not as important as that child having that time with the father.
I remember I was with my son, mind you, it was a struggle because
Hey, Tease.
I had no I had no help. and he didn't live with me, but I had to stop working because my son was young. So when he got out of school, he was literally like locked out of the house because he wasn't old enough to have a key.
Right.
So I had to leave from where I was to go pick my son up and then keep him with me for that day, for that time frame, until his mother got home. But with doing that sacrifice every day, literally he got out of school at like 2:30 and got home. The bus, in Atlanta, them buses, they're not far. You got to be in the school district, so it ain't no
you have to
2 and 3 hours travel like you coming from New
Right.
York. You go to New York, we travel, but in the country, in the South, you in the school district, so there's the zone.
Yeah.
So he got home like 2:45, 2:50. So I had to leave what I was doing and travel all the way, because they lived way on the other side of Georgia. So I had to go all the way out there, and this was every day. pick him up, find activities from, but you know what? I didn't mind because I said, this is my son. But what it did was it stopped me from being able to make the money that I needed to make. On top of that, she put me on child support. And it was like, yo, I'm like, I'm doing, and I ain't saying I'm doing above and beyond, but it was
You
like
were being a parent.
I was being a parent. And, and I was doing what I felt needed to help my son, to not only him be in my life, but me to be there to show him no matter what, you know what I'm saying, we're going to make it. But, and I thank God in this, and I'm a living witness, man. When you do what's right, God is going to still honor, God will not still, but God will honor what you're doing as long as you're doing right.
Yeah.
And when I didn't have it, man, God would send people to put money in my hand, or,
That's
you know,
true.
my
I
son was
witnessed
playing
some of that.
football. He was playing football sometimes, and the football was something that I did to teach him life lessons. So I'm paying the football fees. I'm taking him to practice. Practice was Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and the game was on Saturday. Now, mind you, I'm working all these days, especially on Saturday, which was my busiest day, and I had to leave that to make sure, that I was there to support him.
Right.
So from all through and I started him at 5 years old. So being 5 years old, playing football, me being there for him, I'm on child support. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, but the thing was, I stayed consistent. It was the consistency. So even when he got to that point, because mind you now, there was a lot of negativity that was still going on between me and his mama, and trust me, I prayed for her, and I didn't treat her bad, because whenever she needed me, that's his mother. I don't want to see her struggle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I did not want to see her struggle, because at the end of the day, look, we are in this together. Whether we are together or not,
Whether we agree or not, right.
whether we agree or not, we still have to come together, because my son needs to see his parents get along.
And you know what? Regardless of whether y'all got along or not, the fact that you made it your business to stay, when I tell you that Zion Moore is a well-rounded young man, and you see the benefit of all of the sacrifice. Now, others may not have seen the sacrifice, because sometimes when you're on the other end and you're the mother, you may not see all the sacrifices that the father's making. Or you may know he's making sacrifices that you could care less, because I'm doing more than he doing, and he this and this and that and the third, because you're the primary parent. But at the same time, though, there were a lot of sacrifices that was made, and I witnessed some of them. I wasn't there since he was 5.
Man, listen.
But I witnessed some of them, and when I tell you today,
I would take
he
rent
has
money.
definitely.
I would take my rent money to make sure he was, because I guess it was a thing, man. Especially in the community in Atlanta, that, when he playing football, he had he gained a lot of friends.
Yes.
So all his friends, their parents was together. I'm the single dad coming in there, and there's something about single dads.
People think when your parents together, that means that they're giving you all of this attention.
Yeah,
Not
but
all the
the
time.
point was, they still had what I'm saying is that their kids, no matter what, had everything they need. They had the cleats.
Oh, you talking about
they
right?
They had the cleats. They had the
they
matching.
wanted always to come with you.
Yeah, but they always wanted to
They
come
wanted
with
to be
me.
with Zion, yeah.
Now, mind you, I done got put out of my house because
Yeah.
I'm leaving work to go pick my son up to make sure he's at practice, which started at 5:00 and it ended at 7. So this is all.
Let me tell y'all, when Jesse and I first got married, and this is
Yes,
this
sir,
is our
Al.
journey. This is our journey. We went through it.
I went through
But
it.
yo, when I tell you, got evicted twice in the beginning of our marriage, because he had to make sure he was there for Zion when he needed his daddy. So if it had to, like he said, he would take money out, the rent money. And no, I did not appreciate having to suffer in those ways. A wife, a newlywed, does not feel secure
Man, listen.
when you're going through that. But at the same time, though,
Hey,
I
Eliza.
understood why he was doing what he was doing, because he had to be there for Zion. And we love that young man. So I get it.
Let me go back. Hold on.
Eliza, how
Let me
you
go back.
doing?
Hey, Tease, what's up? I called you for Mother's Day, baby girl. I hope you got my message.
Pop Jesse's on the line.
dad is
Hey,
on
we
line.
love you so much.
You're right, Pastor. I beat that child support issue because I was paying, but she wanted everything I had in spite of his brother. Wow, Al. Yeah, man, this is
But co-parenting,
Hey, Dad, what's up, man?
co-parenting eliminates. See, it wasn't God's plan for there to be co-parenting. That wasn't part of the plan. However, because it is a part of what we have going on today, the government should not be the first source of
especially as Christians.
Now,
We're not
as
supposed to.
Christians, right?
Especially as Christians.
As his
that is
children.
not, that's not biblical,
Right.
For an unjust judge to judge. You know what I'm saying? Two Christians.
And I know we hear some people already saying, well, sometimes it's necessary and this and this and that, but you have to hear what we're saying.
Happy belated Mother's Day, Aunt Liza. Love you
There
guys.
is God never meant for, like he said, an unjust judge, the law to take care of God's children. That's almost like a slap in the face, because what we don't do first is we don't go to God first and make sure God helps us take care and pick up the slack, because for some reason we don't believe like we used to believe back in the day, that God is more powerful and God's going to make sure this and that, and he could change the heart of that parent who's not able to do, or he could give that parent a new job. But what we do instead is we take it upon ourselves, and we do what we feel like will make them feel the pain and make them feel a certain way.
But the thing is, it's like too
Keith.
We use the court system as a what's up, bro? Man, I'm so proud of my brother, man. Keith, man, I'm so proud of you, bro. And we still praying for you, man. We love you, bro. Still praying for you, man. Man, I'm so happy. He got a story, man. Keith got a story, and man, yeah. But I'm rejoicing with you, my guy. But anyway, we use the court system as a weapon. And the crazy part is, it's like, okay, well, because the thing is, we can't straighten out our issues. And it's like, you know why? Because the reason why we can't straighten out our issues as parents, is that because we eliminate the whole characteristic that we're supposed to carry as Christians.
We eliminate the whole
love.
characteristic.
We eliminate the love. Because there's no way that this is the brother or sister that I say that especially because God loved me, and because he loved me, his characteristic is in me. And if I have this characteristic, there's no way that I could see my brother or my sister in trouble because of love. No. You know what I'm saying? It's like I gotta really give it. And when we don't eliminate that characteristic, I promise you, there's so many things that could actually work out. It could work out
better.
And not only will it work out for the parents, but it works out for the kids who are watching. The parents.
Do you see the pattern here? We have a pathology, and now I understand. I feel the pain. Okay, when you read in the Bible, when Paul was talking about divorce, when he was saying, okay, giving a letter of divorcement, and that was only because the hearts of the people were hard, and they wouldn't listen to him tell them the way God wanted it to be done. So he was like, okay, fine. So he gave them a way that would appease the hard heart. So what we're doing is the same thing. The government is not a part of the plan. God has a way to work everything out for our good, for the good of the parents, both of them, and for the good of the children. But what we do instead is, because the hardness of our hearts and our anger, our bitterness, our resentment, or whatever the case, what we do is we go the opposite route of the plan that God had for us. The pattern is still the same. It's not God didn't put that in the plan. He didn't do it.
I heard somebody, and this is so true, man, because a lot of times we say, man, relationships are hard. Man, you got to be married, you got to put work into it. And that is not Bible.
That's not biblical.
God never said that relationships and marriage would be hard.
But what's the hard part?
The hard part is getting out of order.
Getting out of your own way.
Getting out of order.
Getting out of
When you
order.
out of order, could you imagine something that's out of alignment?
Yeah.
how, especially just look at the cars.
Yeah.
When the front wheel is out, when a car is out of alignment, what does it do? It wears down the tires.
Yeah, and it
then-
makes it hard
messes
for you to
up your
keep- come
drive.
on.
It messes up
Come
your
on.
drive. But when it's in alignment, guess what? You won't even have to put
don't
your
even-
hand on the steering wheel
you can just-
for the move.
come on.
It is
on.
so much easy when
Yes.
it's in alignment.
When something is out of order, it does make it harder to get an investment from that. If the Coke machine is out of order, you cannot get a Coca-Cola.
You can't get a
do
Coca-Cola
it.
out of it.
It may be one in there, but you're gonna have to shake it, kick it, punch it, maybe put a hole in it and take a little take it out. But you can't, it's gonna be hard to get it out of there. But when it's in order and it's working correctly, you just pop that little change in there and you can hit it, boom, and you get your Coke.
A small, Al said,
The
a
sound
small
effects.
heart-to-heart can solve a lifetime of disagreement. That's true.
And yeah,
But the thing is too,
Yeah.
even before that too, my brother, man, Al is my bro, man. Love you, bro.
Erica B, what's up, my girl? Happy Mother's Day.
Hey,
Belated.
the thing is that this is why it is so important that we gather information and we don't go into relationships hurt, because
Yeah.
when we go into relationships and situations and we're feeling a certain way, then what we do is, now here's the thing, it's that pattern behavior, because some of us are the very product of the very thing that we're talking about.
Right.
We're the product of that.
Yeah.
And some of us are the result of the product that we're very much talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So some of us, sometimes our parents were there, but they were not there.
Right, right.
So we were lacking that need for care, that not lacking of development from our parents, because why? Our parents were too busy taking care. And we're not saying it as a wrong thing, but when you
It's the truth.
forget the fact that now what you are doing as an individual, you can't do as an individual anymore. You have to do it as some person, or a person that has now set in an order of a family. So now a lot of your things that you do now has to be done in the order of cultivating,
Family, yeah.
in the order of providing for,
Yeah.
in the order of making sure that the family is taken care
But
of.
there are still blessings in it. But what we do is we negate the blessings, trying to do things out of anger, hurt, pain, and that hard heart. Let me read this real quick. Some of the benefits. How much do you really love your children over how much you really hate the other parent, or like the other parent and can't get with them, so now you're jealous and you trying to mess that thing up. So basically the benefits for your children, it says I read this is not my stuff. Okay, it says through your co-parenting partnership, that's key, your kids should recognize that they are more important than the conflict that ended your marriage or your relationship, and understand that your love for them will prevail despite changing circumstances. Kids whose divorced or separated parents have a cooperative relationship will benefit these things. They'll feel more secure. They'll benefit from consistency. They have a better understanding of problem solving because they see you do it. They have a healthy example to follow,
Exactly.
and they are mentally and emotionally healthier.
Exactly.
Who wouldn't want these things for their children? We love our children more than we love ourselves. So co-parenting, that's all it's about, is putting my child before I put my own self and my own feelings and my own emotions.
Hey, Pastor Mia, God bless. Happy Mother's Day
Happy
to
Mother's
you.
Day, Mia.
Happy Mother's Day to you. And
Al West
awesome.
says relationships can end the way they started. Oh, Pastor Mia, let me read what she said. She says, I've been hearing you both say Happy Mother's Day. Let me apologize for not saying it soon. Oh, girl, we good. We love you, and we receive that.
Some
I receive
fathers
that.
are held back if the mother refuses to let us know the child. That is so true, Al. I am a living witness. This is what, to be honest with you, this is what prompted this talk today. Because I was talking to somebody in the barbershop. I was
Right.
talking to somebody going through this very same thing, and it just prompted what I've gone through, and not just me. There are plenty of fathers, and this is so true. Maybe he was not a good boyfriend. Maybe he was not a good husband.
Maybe.
But that does not mean he will not be a good father.
Maybe to you he may not even be a good man, but
actually,
it's
but the
different.
thing is, this is his nature.
Yeah.
His nature is to be a provider. His nature is to be a cultivator. So if he is in the child's life, he may not. Because I went through this. I had my son every day. I'm on child support, and I asked her. I said, "Why? What more do you want?" I have my son every day. She told me, "Well, he need lotion, and he need grease, and he needs stuff for." And I'm like, "Lotion? So when does he get an opportunity to use that lotion when he's with me every day?" And I'm sacrificing and trying to, getting in trouble because you know how child support is. It ain't nothing to play with. But being on child support and having my kid every single day, I didn't complain about it at all. I was like, you know what? You can do whatever you want to do for me. I'm gonna be in my son. You can do whatever you want to do to me.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be in my son's life.
Yeah.
Because I want to break the cycle and I want to break the curse. When my son graduated high school, and God knows I got 3 sons. I got 4 sons. 4. But my last son, when he graduated high school, I got the day before he graduated, I got an opportunity to show him what I suffered and struggled with.
No, that wasn't the day before. That was the day.
That was that night.
We went out to eat.
Okay, yeah, we went out to eat. The night that I took him out, and I had an opportunity to now tell him, man, remember them times we stayed in the hotels? And mind you, I had lost my place 3-4 times, making sure he was good. And we staying in hotels. And mind you, now he got a whole football team of friends,
all his friends
that wanted to be
cousins,
around, the friend's cousin, and they all jumping in my truck like we got a house to go bring them in. So, but I never told my son we'd get a hotel room, and I felt, hey, what way to have everybody get a room, get a hotel room. There's a pool out there; they can go out there and play at the pool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they enjoyed it. He
Long
never
story
knew.
short, he thought they was just having fun at the hotel so much, not realizing the struggle that his father was going through because he didn't let his son see the struggle. But it wasn't until that night after he graduated that we all sat down, and then his dad told him what was really going on. Not as far as like any negative stuff, but yeah, this is why we was at the hotel so much. This is why, and he was like, wow, I ain't even know that. He said, because it wasn't meant for you to know that. I didn't want that to touch you. So that's what co-parenting is like. Hey, is that my Aunt Gracie? I think my Aunt Gracie. If that's you, happy Mother's Day, love.
Gracie D. Child.
Yes, I believe that is my aunt. So yeah, and the thing is, Al, you said something. You said some fathers are held back if the mother refuses to let us know the child. You would not believe how many times we hear children say, if my father was there, I wouldn't have went to jail. I wouldn't have sold drugs. Or I wouldn't have let so many men take advantage of me because I was looking for my father. If my father was there, and it doesn't matter what the reason is that the father wasn't there. And it could be this reason where the mother refuses to allow the father to be a part of the child's life. But that father element is very, very important. It's time to learn.
I spoke with somebody
to co-parent, guys.
I spoke with somebody today, and they was telling me that they just got a divorce from their husband because the child that he had kept moving in and kept moving out. But when the child moved in, she said that the dynamics of the relationship totally changed. He didn't care about her anymore. So my question to her was, how was his relationship with his dad? And she said he didn't have one, she said every time I bring him up, he gets angry. I said, well, that's where your problem is. I said, because at the end of the day, he's holding tight to his daughter because of what he lacked in his relationship with his dad.
Right.
So he's stuck in that place of unforgiveness, and this is what you're dealing with.
Yeah, wow.
You're dealing with that. So
Yeah.
she said, not no more. I had to divorce him because, he stopped caring and he stopped doing this. But again, I'm just saying this to say that this is why it's so important that we are consistent in our kids' life. This is what's so important, why we respect each other as parents.
Right.
This is so important that we really make sure that we make the relationship not about us, but we make the relationship about our kids,
the child,
because
yeah.
it affects every other relationship that we get in. Because this is, we can't say this enough, y'all, that this is a catalyst, or this is a result. We
Yeah.
are the results of that missing those missing elements.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Pastor Mia says, I know court works favorably for some, but it is not in the benefit of the child. All court does is regulate percentages of finance responsibility. She says, however, the court does not equate
Exactly.
emotional support needed or other factors to raise and loving, balanced, and responsible
Exactly.
child.
That is so
Ashley, what's
true.
up, girl? Y'all, I mean, I'm just to be transparent. Every now and again, I have my transparent moment. I wish I could have a do-over. Now, I have to admit, my biological son, I believe he turned out pretty good.
Oh, he turned out real good.
I'm proud of him and how he turned out. And people always say, "Oh, Alma, you did a good job. You did a good job." Yeah, but I was young. I was 17 when I had him, and I made a lot of mistakes. And a lot of this stuff we're learning here, I didn't know this stuff. I wonder if I had a do-over, if I would have allowed his father to be in his life, if I would have allowed his father not look at any type of whatever he was acting like at the time, or whoever he wasn't. Well, it wasn't necessarily who he wasn't to me, but I wonder if I had a do-over, would he have turned out even better? Because a lot of the fatherly things that he could have imparted into my son, he was not able to impart into him. So yeah, I kind of wish I had a do-over.
Let me read what Al wrote, because man, I relate to this so much, Al.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, you don't know how much I relate to. He said some people are quiet fighters, but get misunderstood for not caring. Like me, at heart, I hate to talk, but it comes off like I don't care. I just like peace only. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. That is so true. And the thing is, sometimes the communication, that's blocked. If I'm coming at you and I'm screaming and I'm automatically the communication shuts down. It shuts down
Yeah.
because we get in what it is, those coping mechanisms that we have developed as children now, it kicks in because what we have to do is now get into that safe place.
Yeah.
So we go into that safe place of peace. But and it's not that we're avoiding the conversation, it's just that we don't want to argue.
Right.
Why do we have to argue, especially when you're giving your opinion and I'm giving my opinion? Because that's where arguments really, most arguments stem from. I'm trying to get you to hear what I'm saying, and you trying to get me to hear what you're saying.
And when a child is involved, both of y'all act like y'all know what's best for the child. So what I'm saying is best for the child. Know what I'm saying, and it's and that.
Well,
that
we ain't gonna do this, or they ain't gonna do that, and we take over.
Yeah.
And
Well, I want him to play basketball. Well, I had him in this, and it's just a rivalry that child learns, and that child learns that's how you communicate with people. That's how you deal with significant others. That's how you live your life. Whenever you want to be heard, you go off. You let them know, and all that stuff.
And here's another thing that we miss, because this is why it's so important to communicate first. Because I dealt with situations where my son's mother, my son's mother would put my son in things and not tell me about it.
Yeah.
Like, with the communication of us talking about what she put him in, she wouldn't talk to me about it. She only communicated with me when she needed the money to support what she put him in.
How much it costs, yeah.
And it's like this could have been avoided if we talked about it and came together as parents to put finances together.
Yeah.
And so the thing is, because I wasn't able to finance what she wanted to put him in, that was an argument.
And
You
it
ain't
made
there.
you look like
You
a
ain't,
bad
it made
father.
me, and
Wow.
your dad ain't, he this and he that, and he don't support what you done. And it's like, no.
Right. So on the flip side of that, it's like, okay, I want to put so and so in band.
Yeah, just say,
But they need this. This is, I got all the fees. They gave me the itemized list, and this is how much it's gonna cost.
Yeah.
How much can you help me with this? A lot of times a mother doesn't want to do that because she don't want to hear these words. Oh man, I ain't got it.
Yeah, the point is, this is why the communication has to go down, because it's
Yeah.
like, okay, listen, look, there's some things come. You know, what can you do, or how can we come together to put this on? You know what I'm saying, before you even do it,
Right.
Because when you put the kid in it, now what happens is your anger comes from the fact that you don't want to disappoint the kid.
Yeah.
But if you won't disappoint the kid, if you have the communication with the parent,
And it's okay to say, you know what?
we ain't got
I
it
really
right now.
want you to be a part of this, but right now we don't have it. And you know what I used to do? I used to say, well, look, T, this is what you got to do. We don't have it right now. But if both of us pray, you know what the Bible say? Now, that's your father. Your father said if we come together and we pray about this thing, then he going to make some things pop. So let's pray and let's see what he going to do for us. Now, in the event that it doesn't happen, that means it's just not the time. So in that, I was teaching him that it's okay not to always get what you want, that it's okay to be disappointed. So now I have an opportunity to teach you how to get past or deal with disappointment. So all of these lessons are in the know. Okay, no, we're not going to be able to do that right now. And you can teach your child in the know.
But and also too, like I said, that's great stuff, man. And also, if you plan, because sometimes, you know, you want this money and you want it like by Friday, and today's Tuesday.
Right. You didn't give me time to get it
You didn't
up.
even give me time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't tell me a month ago. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you know, let's plan for this thing because, you know,
Let's plan.
Yeah, let's plan.
That's another
That-
one for co-parenting.
Yes.
You must plan. You got to have daily routines, parental plans,
rules, regulations, because the rules that go on,
visitation
yes.
schedules. You have to have
and
it.
This is important too. The rules that apply in your house should be the same rules that apply in my house if we're not together.
In the event that it don't, you still have to respect the fact
You
that
gotta
the
respect,
rules
yeah.
are still
The same.
not harmful to the child.
Yes.
They just may not be what you think that should happen in my house. All right, let me read this last little thing. Research shows that children in homes with a unified parenting approach have a greater overall well-being and fewer behavioral problems. Having a healthy co-parenting relationships involves establishing a plan with the child's other parent. That's what it involved, establishing a plan.
Yeah.
You remember back in the day they had a cartoon where he said, I love it when a plan comes together? That should be the thing that co-parenting should be. It should be a t-shirt that says co-parenting. I love it when a plan comes together, because
Come
that's
on
what
here.
co-parenting is all
Yes,
about.
yes.
Planning,
Planning,
communicating,
and
respecting,
Yes.
all for the sake of the love you have for your child.
So let's remember, y'all. Let's remember that we worshipped at the beginning of this service here. The song was stating that we're going to worship God every day and praise
And
Him
it's-
every day.
Yeah.
And it's
still not enough
for
how
because
great
God
he is
wants,
to us.
Yes, because He not only wants our worship,
Mm-hmm.
but He wants our life.
He wants it all.
He wants it all.
He wants the pain and the hurt that you have from the divorce.
Yes,
He wants the pain and the hurt that you have from the separation.
yes,
He wants all of that.
yes.
And he
Love
wants
too,
you to
Al.
give him worship and say thank you.
Yes,
Because just like co-parenting takes planning, God says, I have a plan for you.
yes.
I sat down and I evaluated and I came up with your whole life plan. And it's not to harm you, but to give you hope and a future. Let him help parent your child
Yes.
with you until that other parent gets it together. But until then,
let's not leave God
don't leave him
out
out.
of every situation that we get in. I don't care what it is. A divorce, a broken relationship, a void missing from a parent.
Yeah.
Allow God to heal.
Let's break some pathologies,
Let's break some behavior today.
family behaviors,
Yes. Let's do it today, y'all.
and build a generation starting with you.
Yes. We love you guys. Yes,
We love
Al.
you.
Al, yes, you're right, man. Thank you, Al West. my guy.
This ends our show today. We love you so much. Thank you for tuning in to Shift Real Talk Tuesdays, where our topic today was we are not together, but we still have to raise these kids. I'm your girl, Lady Free.
I'm your boy, Pastor J.
Peace.
Thanks for watching.